hi. Hi. I don't think I've ever been on this screen before. Hi. Wait. I should probably try and surprise you. Wait, one second. Okay. Ah! How's that? Was that scary? Was that scary? Did I surprise you? Did I do a good job? Yeah? Too spooky for me. Whoa! You guys are spooked? You guys spooked and spooky? Yeah! I'm spooky! Yeah! Happy Sunday, everyone. Hello, hi. Hello. Sorry, Lindsay Bensteer, thank you for a super chat. Sorry about the delayed stream today. I've been in a little bit of a mood. So it was hard getting myself to work this morning. But I'm here now. Is my audio okay? Am I on the right mic settings? Yes, I am. So, hi, hey, hello. This is still the starting soon screen though, okay? Yeah, we haven't officially started, okay? We're still loading in. That's my loading sound. Someone make it a ringtone. No! Someone make it a 1 hour loop. Hi. Disney trying to pronounce R's. I can do it in English. I can do R sounds when I'm speaking English. It's just that my R sounds for every other language sounds incorrect. Hello. John Doug, thank you for the super chat. La clitera. Wait. Okay, maybe I even Ra cliterla. Ra cliterla. Is that as bad as it sounds to me? Hello. I feel like my audio's still off. 1 second. Let me adjust my mic. Hello. I'm speaking through my hands right now. I feel like this makes it sound better, but I don't know if this actually makes it sound better or if it's just my head playing tricks on me. But I feel like this sounds better. Better? Much better? Yes, I just speak with my hands in front of... Wait, but I have to use my hands today to type. How am I gonna do this? Hi. Okay, you know what? I'm used to this mic having feedback at this point. I probably need... I don't know, maybe I just need to clean it or something. Maybe I need to switch wires on it, because it's not that old. But I'll just put up with whatever weird feedback or buzzing I hear on my end, so long as it's okay for you guys. Only stream gag. Palette Bureau, thank you for becoming a pure-blooded love bug. Much love, much appreciation. Disney kidnapping ASMR? Is it kidnapping? Or is it a free trip for me to Disney? It's all about the framing and where the pit stops are. Can we go to Buc-ee's? Yeah, perspective is important. Perspective is important. Yeah. I've never been to Disney. Take me away, Disney. I haven't been to Disney either. I want to go to Disney. I want to go to Disney. Okay, but actually, if you really think about it, hasn't Disney sort of like dropped off? Hasn't Disney started like flopping? Like, I think the top animated movies this year weren't even Disney films. Like, one of them is Neza, is Chinese. So like, you know, if it's not animated movies and it's definitely not live action adaptations, what is Disney actually doing? You know? Yeah, Disney fell off hard. Disney sucks now. Guys, stop saying Disney sucks now, because Disney is very close to Disney, and so I'm reading that Disney sucks now, and it's hurting my feelings. It's hurting my feelings. Coasting of past glories. Yeah, let's make another live action adaptation, because the previous two worked so well. Just so well. I actually think financially, I think Lion King might have been considered a success, but I never actually watched that live action. Is it even considered live action? Because most of it's CGI. Most of it's in CGI. They didn't hire unionized lions for this. They didn't go for my lion unions. They made all of these lions with AI. They're destroying the industry. Abuaniki, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Exactly, actors are real, but everything else is green screen. Yeah! Where are my real hired lions, huh? Where are my real hired lions? Gra! Gra, 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 gra! I haven't been graying enough. I think all of my issues could be solved. You know, all my mental illnesses, plural, could be solved with more crying. Grah! Grah! Yeah, that feels good. Anyways. Hope the audio is okay. Is it okay? It's okay, right? Okay. But hello, fellow sick fucks and sick fuckettes. Today, we are writing fanfiction, which is why I put on my my Tumblr girl outfit for today's stream, because it seemed very, very, very appropriate for this video. Why are we writing fanfiction? You know what? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But I needed something to do this weekend. Right? Tagoon? Hey, not all fanfiction is written with the sole intention of gooning, okay? Sometimes fanfiction is written because you really want to get off on the emotional trauma that it might cause to your readers. Or sometimes fanfiction is written because you had a turbulent childhood and your family moved a lot, and well, you didn't have much else to do with your time, so you started reading fanfiction because you couldn't afford real books, because one of the reasons your family moved is because of poverty. So you know, when you can't afford books, the closest thing you have is fanfiction, and then because you consume so much fanfiction, you start writing some fanfiction, and then it becomes your emotional crux, because hey, this beer is pretty good. John Dog, thank you for a super chat. Thank you. I can strangely relate, mate. I don't think that's something you want to relate to, but thank you. Desu, Thank you for $2. And Callum, thank you for the super chat. Is Ardoclo okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you for asking. How are you? How are you, chat? Yeah, I don't know. I probably am stretched a little thin, but when am I not, right? When am I not? Doing great, not bad today. Doing good. That's good. That's good. Dying from a heat wave. I thought we were gonna get a heat wave here soon. I thought so, but it was pissing rain. It was pissing rain this morning when I got up. And it's looking out the window. I think my neighborhood's okay, but I heard from someone on Twitter that it's actually flooding right now in some parts of my city. So to anyone affected by that, good luck. Be safe. I don't know. Don't be on your phone while drowning in case of elocution. I don't know what proper flooding protocol looks like, okay? I don't. Floods are rough. Yeah, but you know, at least there's free fishing. Never trust Twitter. I don't know. I do trust it for this one specific time since rain has been pretty hard. But what was I even talking about? What were we even doing today? We're writing fanfiction. Well, I'm writing fanfiction. You guys are listening to fanfiction. But this stream is not sponsored by Audible. But maybe if some members of staff are watching this, that could change. Huh? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they got like VTubers? Could you imagine if they got VTubers to record audiobooks? Like you're listening to You're listening to The Art of War by Sun Tzu, but it's from a breathy lolly VTuber who reads like this the entire time. I would pay so much money for that. I would pay so much money for that. 10 out of 10. What, right? Right? Dizzy, can you read me Lord of the Rings? 10 cents per word, thank you. Yeah, if you pay me 10 cents per word, yeah. Honestly, $1 million idea? Maybe. God. Wait, that would be a really good Patreon reward. Maybe if I ever open a Patreon. I'll just read audiobooks to you guys in this voice like this. But Nevo, thank you for $10. No, I wouldn't read them like how I normally read things. I wouldn't read them in my actual voice, no. It would only be like this. Exactly like this. 10 cents per word for a token book. Are you insane? No! I'm broke. Those things are different, albeit similar. Apache, thank you for your 17 months. This is Bloody Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. Chapter 1, The Wild for Child. Ooh, woo. You don't have to add the ooh woo into it. You don't have to add the ooh woo. It's implied. That's roughly $50,000. Open your wallets, love bug, but it'll be a priceless work of art. Find a book that is public domain as a test run to see how well it sells and use that as data to approach actual publishers. Ooh, Timmy with the business strategies. Ooh. Oh, but before we get into all that, I forgot to do the greeting. I love bugs. Or should I call you fuck bugs, following the aforementioned naming convention of my earlier intro. Actually, how many F-bombs am I still allowed before they demonetize my video? Like I think that's 3? I think that's already 3? Why am I so spitty right now? Okay, seems risky. I'm gonna skip it. I love bugs. Hi. I've missed you. Did you miss me? More than you think. Aww. Aww. Maybe a little. A whole lot. Of course. Of course. Yep. Okay. And I missed you. 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 And I really missed you. And I missed you too. And I missed you. And you. And you. And you. And you. And I missed you too. I'm sorry. I've been watching a lot of Love on the Spectrum clips because it's coming back to Netflix. And there's this one guy who's like super positive. He's super great. And he's super like thankful and happy all the time. And he's just like, and you know, he has like just one speaking quirk that's just like, and you know what else? And I've just been like, you know what? That's such a good speaking quirk. And I kind of want to adopt that. I kind of want to be like, and you know what else? I miss you, and I miss you, and I miss you. Yeah. I heard about the show. It's on Netflix. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch, yeah. Oh, you missed us? Name every chatter then. Oh, well, I know I'm up 95 and Citrus and Selenius DeGener and Ariel and Fister and MK Sirix and Uncas Lunkus and Big Amalo. Thank you for $10. Speaking of money making ideas, do you think Face Connect could market fishing hats? Put women fear me, fish want me to buy coffee on them. Honestly, that would probably sell for a short time. Unpopular opinion? I'm so sick of those hats. I am so sick of them. They were popularized in 2020 during the start of Western VTubing, and people are still using them for the same gags and bits. We need new hats. What about be patient? I have autism. The Chinese knockoff of a fish fear me hat. Swab, thank you for your super chat. Does he know me? And is that good or bad? Of course I know you. I know all the love bugs. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. I know if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sakes. This model's eyes don't get that crazy. Dizzy Claus, you better watch out. You better. I was trying really hard to think of a clever spin on that, but I couldn't, and now I've lost the momentum. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. But anyways, I love bugs. Today, we are doing an extra embarrassing stream. Because, well, what really makes this embarrassing? Like, I'm not really embarrassed of the fact that I write fanfiction for fun. What really makes this embarrassing is every fucking time I do any stream of this kind of this nature, of this variety, of this specific content niche, right? A coworker walks in. And I already have a chip on my shoulder about my coworkers watching me, but it's specifically for streams of this kind that they like to join in. Every single time, without fail, bam, someone shows up. And listen, just because I'm a motherless heathen doesn't mean you guys have to be, okay? Phase talents, if you're out there, lurking talents, okay? My coworkers, go spend time with your loved ones. Hug someone you care about. Have a nice Sunday dinner, okay? Do anything except watch me write fanfic about you. Chat, you stay because the double standard is real and does apply to this instance, okay? I actually have a handful of writing assignments that I need to get done for work. And after this, I'm clearly going to be drained of any creative juices. And it takes a while for me. So that's gonna take me into next week. So to justify me delaying my deadlines, I need you guys to really hype me up, okay? Okay? Your families can wait. My coworkers, no, but your family specifically can wait. I need live viewership now. Kidding, but only a little bit. The same way that I like women, but only a little bit. Anyway, speaking of women, bam. To help me on today's stream, and also because I don't want any of my biases to cloud my judgment over good literature, I've decided to completely randomize who we will be writing fanfic about today, okay? I don't actually know what the popular ships in phase are. I'm assuming Roulette is one of them. I assume it doesn't matter the time period. We could be looking like 10 years out and Roulette will still be the Yuri Queens of Phase Connect, right? But I don't know if there's been any new developments in phase lore that might have led to like a new popular ship coming out. Urka Rooney is nice. Oh, is that from her repo streams? Oh. Clara Loki is not a true phase ship. Okay, Clara Loki is not a true phase ship. Because when you say Clara Loki, you're probably referring to Marvel's Loki. Specifically, the ones from the movie AU. Okay? So, Clara Loki is not an official ship. It's a crossover ship. Get your shit together, guys. Himeiyu. Oh, yeah. I feel like the hype for that one is downwards trending. Like, it was really popular during winter, but I haven't seen too much Himeiyu content recently. Tenma Pippa stocks are up. Especially after April Fools, you know? We don't get to see them together a lot, but every time we do, stocks go back up. Yeah. Bye. Lindsay Van Studer, thank you for $5. Woo, let's go, Dizzy. You can do this. You're the best fanfic writer of all time. Hope this helps. Thank you. Loomis Popcorn Man. Best ship is Ember Dizzy. We actually haven't had a lot of solo Ember Dizzy content in a while. okay? It's been mostly invaders, which I don't know if it's like... Okay, do you guys see invaders as two couples on a double date? Or is it more of like, you know, a polygamous sect thing? Double date performer? Okay. Just checking. I'm still partial to Arena XI. Ooh, that's a rare pair. Arena XI. Oh. I feel like that would actually have a very interesting ship dynamic. Because I feel like in other ships, Irie and Arena are both dominant in their mutual ships. But I wonder who would be like the top and who would be the bottom when it comes to Irie Arena. I would actually put Irie as a dominant. Irie is dominant. Well, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like she's more of a, you know, a go-getter. You know? Aren't both bottoms? No, I would actually put them as tops. You can still be a top while having certain womanly qualities to you. Yeah. Arena is a huge sub, right? Besides, there's something like so satisfying about like conquering like a 6 feet tall Dami mommy type. But my poorly veiled fetishes aside, shall we spin the wheel? Shall we spin the wheel to decide who we're writing about today? Let's give it a go. Pawn Wolf X Cyber Tiger. Let's fucking go. I'm surprised by how popular this is. I'm surprised by what a popular ship this is. This is interesting to me. Okay, let's give this wheel a spin, see where it lands. I do have all the phase girls' names written down. Oh shit!やばいね。やばいね。Ah! Starting off strong, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a start. Okay, Iori reads a lot of light novels and fan fiction too, I think, so this will be interesting. That might be something we write about. Cause like, Fujo, like, fangirl ex-celebrity is always pretty good. That might be good. That might be fun. Okay, so first one is Iori. Let's see who she's shipped with. Isn't Iori really dominant? Secretly dominant? I think as far as taste goes, the thing is, I think as far as taste go, Iori is attracted to more mature women, like the One-san type. So would she be in a relationship? Would she be the dominant person? Yeah. Tenma confirm him. No. This is equal opportunity. I am open to rare pairs. So we're gonna spin the wheel again. And like, I thought about giving myself rerolls. I really did. But I think we're just gonna go with wherever these wheels take us. And by the way, chat. this is not the only wheel that I prepared tonight. There are more. So look forward to that. Okay, next one. Oh! I can work with this. I can work with this one. Yes. Okay, no, this works. This works. There's a couple different AUs I could put them in. There's a couple different AUs. So we're doing Iori and Loki. Yeah. All right, Disney, time to cook. Hold on, there's more. Would their ship name be Lori? That's a good one. I like Lori. Lori shipping. Lori shipping. Flakes. Flake Emon, thank you so much for becoming a love bug. Thank you. Okay, guys, don't get too excited. There's still more wheels. Isn't that Yori's brother? I thought Larry was Yori's brother. I thought it was Larry. Dear Ex God. Oh, that's a good one. Swab, thank you for $2. I'm gooning already. Hey! No gooning yet. Because the next wheel dictates the genre. Now, if you guys can't get a good look at this, I have hurt, comfort, angst, tragedy, because hypothetically these are all 3 different categories. There's fluff, comedy, smut, drama, sci-fi, slice of horror, slice of life, and horror. Okay? I don't know if there's a genre that I'm missing. If there is, someone please let me know. Because I wouldn't mind adding to this wheel. Hi, Leah. Thank you for the raid, Leah. L-O-V-E. We love Leah. Leah. La 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 Leah. Thank you to Leah for the raid. Everyone, please welcome her back from her recent trip to Japan. Hope you guys had lots of fun catching up with her. We love Leah a lot here on this channel. And what else? And also, well, ain't she just the cutest thing? Yeah, please make sure to, if you haven't already, go leave a really kind welcome back message on Leah's channel. And oh, that's why I forgot. Leah, if you're still around, hope you're feeling a lot better. I know you were feeling a little sick yesterday, so, well, a lot of sick, but hope you're feeling a lot better today. Anyways, if you're just joining in right now, we are doing fanfiction roulette today. We just did 2 wheel rolls right now to decide what we're writing for, and we are writing for Iori x Loki, so 2 JP members. And now we're gonna actually roll to see what sort of fanfiction we're gonna write for them. Yeah. Cosmic horrors. Maybe if we get sci-fi, we could write something like that. I'm actually really weak at horror. Wait, did the plane flying over me literally just pick up? Okay, I gotta reset my mic later. Okay, anyways. That's crazy. This is the first time it's actually picked up on my mic. I think it's because, oh, hold on. I think it's because my lines are out. Let me just pull it down.
Anyways. Yeah, I'm actually really weak at writing horror, even though I like the genre. But we'll see what we roll into. Okay, in terms of what I'm actually good at, I think my strengths would be hurt, comfort, slice of life, and fluff. Very generic, very boring, I know. But hopefully, your mic picks up background surprisingly good. It shouldn't. It's one of the mics that are specifically a little quieter. But let's see what we get with this roll. Oh god. It feels inappropriate that this application cheers for tragedy. Very inappropriate. Okay, we are writing the opposite of fluff today. We're writing a tragedy. Okay, I'm seeing the plot. Doomed Yuri, actually, not gonna lie, it's kind of funny too. The wheel, right? Now the fact that I'm writing a tragedy about two of my coworkers, right? But I'm seeing the plot. I'm envisioning the plot. It's coming to me. It's all coming to me right now. Okay. Last but not least, it wouldn't be a good fanfic without a couple tropes. So the next wheel, you guys help me decide. You help me decide. Should we do 1 or 2 rolls on the next wheel? This is the wheel of tropes. Also, please, if you have any suggestions or what I could add, let me know. Also, I missed a bunch of super chats. Two. You want 2 rolls? 2 tropes? Okay. Vito W, thank you for 9 months. Peak Fiction incoming, thank you. Agent G, thank you for a super chat. Turning into a mature woman ASAP. Kumi Kota, thank you for a super chat. Dizzy X Ember, where Ember has mommy issues and Dizzy is the mommy. Oh god. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Gail Dio, thank you for a super chat. I'm personally rooting for 6'3 Ponko X 130cm arena fic. That's oddly specific. Agamanta, thank you for $5. It'd be really funny if it's Dizzy X Muyu. Okay. Dead dove do not eat. Dead dove do not eat. But thank you for a super chat. Okay. Here are the tropes I have written down so far. We have established relationship, soulmates, school AU, time loop, miscommunication, body swap, mutual pining, first kiss, arranged marriage, celebrity AU, because that's what I've been really into lately, unrequited love, enemies to lovers, that's a good one, lovers, love potion, that's cute, body swap kind of annoying, not gonna lie. What did body swapping ever do to you? What did Freaky Friday ever do to you, huh? Buddy? Let's see, I would rather not write an NTR fic, thank you. Dizzy doesn't. You got paid. Got paid Dizzy for that one. It's a sip. Chat. Chat, you're sick in the head, chat. Historical fiction, World War. Ooh, I do like historical fiction. I do actually like history. I feel like that's more of a genre, though. You really want to add Omegaverse? I don't mind. I don't think I've ever written Any Omegaverse? So this will be a first. I have read enough. I think I can have a handle on the genre. Ooh, Childhood Friends. That's a good one. Childhood Friends is a really good one. Okay. Childhood Friends. Okay. I think someone said terminal illness downstairs for add it to the list. Add it to the list. I think that's good. I think that's good for now. If you guys have any more suggestions, feel free to hop in whenever to add them. But let's give it a roll and find out the first trope we are adding to today's fanfiction. Go. And the wheel lands on... No, that one's cute! This one's like one of my favorites. Mutual pining. Okay, close that. One more time. It's gonna be a tragedy about Man. Come on, give me something good. How the fuck am I gonna pull this one off, hey? Enemies to lovers. Okay. Enemies, lovers, mutual pining. It has to be, they have to be pining for each other in the enemy state. That's the only way I can... These are our requirements. So all of this, but it has to end poorly. This has to end poorly because it's a tragedy. So enemies to lovers, mutual pining, but a sad ending. I think I know. I think this will be... I think we're gonna go with this theme in another lifetime. Lifetime sounds better. In another lifetime. Tragedy, my favorite. Let Dizzy cook. Let Dizzy have a drink right now because she's gonna... I need to release my inhibition! I need to release all my inhibitions! I got the popcorn for this one. I have a spoon, thank you for $2. This Omegaverse fanfiction is already cooking. It's not Omegaverse this time. It's not Omegaverse. Maybe eventually. Lindsay Van Steer, thank you for $2. They fight but secretly pine for each other. So maybe delinquents, yeah. Tom All Thumbs, thank you for $2 currency. Someone said Idol AU. I agree. I'll count that as celebrity AU. I'll count that as celebrity AU because it's some sort of celebrity. Aller Stormbringer, thank you for super chat. Sven, historical fiction, World War, Emperor's Palace. I'm gonna add history. Before I forget, I'm gonna add history to the genre list because we should have time for a couple of these. If we added horror and Clara, this would be a perfect horror setup. You think so? I don't like enemies to lovers mixed with horror. I think if you're in a horror setting, you have like way bigger things on your mind than having enemies. So I'm gonna release my fanfic inhibitors. Thank you, Cross Eternal TCG for the $2. It takes a lot to write fanfiction in public, guys. It takes a lot. Anti-Annihilator, thank you for the membership. Okay, that's an oddly specific dislike. I just don't think it's realistic. Hating people, having enemies, guys. having enemies takes time. You need a lot of time and energy to make enemies. So if you're like worried about survival, and this is like a horror survival setting, why the fuck do you have enemies? How about you concentrate on surviving? That's why so many of these enemies that you see in The Walking Dead and other horror survival series all die because they're too fucking busy causing problems that they forget that the whole point of being in a horror survival is to survive. Duh. Okay. Now let's see. Lori shipping, tragedy, mutual pining enemies to lovers. All the mutual pining has to happen. In the enemy stage of the enemies to lovers. So this is gonna be a one shot. We'll write a short plot line and then we can start writing. Let's see. Survival would involve enemies. If someone has something you need, the best option might maybe to take what they have. Get over it quickly and find another way to survive. There's no point crying over spilled milk. You would die in a horror survival. You specifically for that comment. Let's define what tragedy, mutual pining, and why they're enemies. Tragedy. We'll go the easy way. Die. Someone dies. Mutual pining. This is very self-explanatory. Why are they enemies? Okay, let's define their characters a little bit more. Let's brush up on the characterization here. Loki canonically is a god. I think we didn't actually define the AAU. Any AUs. We didn't roll into any AUs. I guess this takes place in canon timeline. Or maybe we can make it in phase world. That might be fun. I like that. Phase world. So setting, phase world. But this brings up a topic of like why everyone came to Earth in the first place. So canonically, if you guys know. Canonically, Iori came here on a mission. Iori came to Earth on a mission to track down all the forks that were stolen off Phase World. Yeah, I know the lore. I'm like the 1% of people who actually know the Phase World lore. So, yeah. Forks? Yeah. It's this whole thing that like 2 people thought was funny. And is now just canon to our universe. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, okay? I'm gonna need to reboot it. Eventually, maybe. Alright, phase world. Let's see. Ooh. I know. Okay. I got the plot, okay. Because I think Loki... Let me look up Loki's lore one more time. Kanagi Loki, face connect. Hey, you guys aren't keeping the wiki updated. Very bad, very bad, okay? I need you guys to keep that updated. That's where I go before I go to the actual website. Phase connect. phase connect. She's a god of marriage. Would I trust Loki to find me a husband? Let's see. Phase god idol. A god of matchmaking, self-entitled, who came from Phase world to create connections with humans. Ah, I can work with that. Let's see. The soul of Loki is contained in the body of a certain priestess. Loki believes that as a result of assimilation, the original Miko's soul is gone. But the Miko's inability to move her body since childhood has made her weak and athletically inept. She is working hard at muscle training every day in order to become as physically fit as a human being can. Oh, that's great. That's great. We can kind of run with this. Okay, so backstory. This is continuation of Iori's time. Iori is an assassin, and while pursuing the fork, her current mission on Earth, she's picked up a few odd jobs that put her in direct conflict with Loki, a goddess of matchmaking. So that's how them being enemies all begins, okay? Iori's been taking these jobs. A lot of them are targeting like couples or worshippers of Loki. And this puts them in direct conflict, right? So it might be a little bit more of a one-sided enemy story from the side of Iori to Loki, because in Loki's perspective, because she's a goddess of matchmaking, she loves all humans equally, or all people equally. I know Iori's a deer, but we'll just make it all people. But she has a duty to protect her worshippers, right? And then, you know, through all these conflicts, they become attracted to each other until something tragic happens. And the last words spoken between the couple would be like, in another lifetime? Yeah, in another lifetime. Like that. Yeah, that's good, right? That's good. Wait, is this a Call of Duty lore? Is this Call of Duty lore? No way, right? There's no way this is... Is it? Modern Warfare? Modern Warfare? Kyle, thank you for your super chat. Hello, Dizzy. I can't stay, but have a good night. Have a good night, too. Call of Duty has lore? I don't know. But that skeleton mask guy has, like, fans on TikTok. I see some BL about him sometimes, so probably. Nora Eclipse, thank you for $9.99. You should use your writing skills to flesh out Phase world, cultures, architecture, landscapes, etc. Dude, I'd write so much head-ass bullshit into that. Staff would hate me. Absolutely not. Even better. Do it. That would be funny though. Naughty chat. Okay, let's see. Line break. Can I do line break this way? No. Okay. That's fine. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Okay. So how do we start this? How do we start this? We'll do the setting. The street light flickered. The street light flickered. A gentle hum. Buzzing. In humid and hot summer and hot summers air summers? I'm a little fucking buzzed right now. In hot summer air. Okay. Grammar, spelling, etc. will be fixed eventually. We gotta get to it. We gotta get okay. The street lights. Right, we'll make it setting more mystical fantasy. A single street light flickered, buzzing. Okay, got brute force service. Buzzing gently in summer air. Sweat. No, we are! I think the coast is clear, guys. The coast is clear. We're just hanging around, yeah. Yeah. Nothing's happening. Nothing at all. Bearded Mountain, thank you for 4 months. It's not like she can prove what we were doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, you can't prove anything. You're a good whistler. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, hi, Yuri. Thank you for the raid, everyone. We're just practicing our whistling. Yep. Nothing else. Absolutely. This wheel, don't worry about it. It's music genres. Yeah. This is actually destroying my mic, so I should probably stop doing it. Smut music. Yeah. It's this new form of electronic dance. Okay, coast is clear, right? Coast is clear? Yeah. Okay. Back to the fanfic writing, but we're gonna just do it really quietly. We're gonna do it really, really quietly, just in case she only got up from her computer for a little bit and she overhears us and comes back. Yeah. Swab, thank you for a super chat. Are you doing a Kill Bill? It's like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's like my favorite one to do. Okay. A single street light flickered, buzzing gently, softly. In hot summers, and hot summer air, sweat laid thin against the nape of her neck, Dory's neck, as sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck. As a pale hand reached out to brush away feathery strands of hair. Okay. We're trying to make these short. Okay? A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away feathery white strands of hair. The arm was slow moving, stiff, almost mechanical. The arm was slow moving, stiff, almost mechanical. Hold on, I got bring up the character models. Bruised, stiff, almost mechanical, and bruised at the fingers. Let's see. A deep sigh, so ha. Okay, let me cook, and then we'll go back. Let's see. A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in the hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away feathery white strands of hair. The arm was slow moving, stiff, almost mechanical, and bruised at the fingers. It didn't have to happen like this. Iori chuckled. Her grip loosening against the blade. Years of calluses had built up on the years of calluses that had built up on her hands seemed almost comical now. I was just doing my job. Mumbled. Words dry. It's hanging dry at the tip of her tongue. At the tip of her tongue? At the tip. At the edge of her broken lip. You didn't have to. Okay. Okay, I'm cooking. Any tips in writing smut? Use any word except penis to describe a penis. And if you're not writing about the penis, allegories about flowers. Purple snake! Ah! A rod, an iron totem. Okay, iron totem kind of good though. Iron totem kind of good. Okay. A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away feathery white strands of hair. The arm was slow moving, stiff. Stiff and mechanical. Stiff and almost mechanical. Stiff and a hand slightly bruised at the tip. At the tips. As it drew closer. Iori almost flinched. Body couldn't respond. Even in halftime. There we go. You know it didn't have to happen like this. Yuri chuckled, her grip loosening against the blade. The years of calluses that had built up on her hands seemed almost comical now. As they shook. Shook involuntarily. Her presence. God. Yeah. As they shook, trembled, quivered. We're not using quivered! This isn't a smut, chat! This isn't a smut! Okay. Didn't have to. Words. Words sharper. Words sharp? No, we don't need too much flowery texture. But she did. Both of knew it. Understood. But she did. And they both knew it. They both understood. Work the quotations? Work. She'd ever known. Are you looking? She asked. No. Her eyes flickered. What little strength remained. Tired sigh. No. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Okay. Somber? No, I don't want it to be somber. It's not sad. I don't think it's the feeling of sadness. It's a feeling... it's a feeling that... of exhaustion that I want to emphasize. I think it's a feeling of exhaustion. Yeah. Pity? Maybe. No. The physical labor? More like emotional. No. So then... how would this dialogue go? A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away feathery white strands of hair. The arm was slowly moving. Instead of feathery, let's use the word matted, because I think the hair wouldn't be soft in this scenario, as beautiful as that would sound. I think the hair would be a little bit matted, dry, crusted with blood. The arm was slow moving, stiff and almost mechanical. The hand slightly bruised at the tips. As it drew closer, Iori almost flinched, but her body couldn't respond even in half-time. Blah 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 dialogue. Iori chuckled, her grips loosened against the blade. Years of calluses that had built up on her hands seemed almost comical now, as they shook involuntarily in the presence of a god. There should be another line here. There should be another line here. Tension. Iori chuckled, her grips loosening against the blade. The years of calluses that had built up on her hands seemed almost comical now as they shook involuntarily in the presence of a god. If she could peel them layer by layer, she wondered where they'd lead. I was just doing my job, she mumbled, words hanging dry at the edge of her I think, tongue. This is too wordy. God have responded. Words were harsh. Harsh. Hitting pavement. Like, how would I describe harshness? Blah, 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 blah. Words were harsh. Like pounded pavement. Been harsh. Were poignant, pounded pavement, blah, 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 blah. Like shards of glass are more sharp. Sharp is like, the delivery would be like, you didn't have to, but I think harsh is more like, you didn't have to, like it's poignant, you know? More harsh. Like pounded. I like pounded pavement. I like p-p-p-p noises. Pavement. Even if it doesn't like 100% make sense. Like pounded pavement. Okay, kind of heavy-ish. Like pounded pavement under... like pounded... run under... The words were harsh, like pounded pavement. Had dried under sun. Okay, cool. Under the sun. There. But she did, and they both knew it. They both understood. Work the job. It was all that she'd ever truly known. Are you looking down on me? Her eyes flickered with what little strength remained. Tired, sighing, no. Was it funny? Ass. Was it funny? Watching her. Let's put this into a future struggle. For the last half. No. Yuri Grimace. Is that how you spell grimace? Grimaced. Grimace? Grimace. Grimace? Grimace. Grimace? Grimace? Which one's which one's a McDonald's warrior? Grimace. Grimace. Grimace shake? Grimace. Grimace. Grim. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. No autocorrect. Good enough. Sneered. Sneered is good. Sneered is very good. Grimaced. And why? I'm gonna, instead of why, say why did, because I feel like that's the sort of language you already would use, Chris. Did you put up with it for so long? Paused. She could feel her head turning towards her. Do we do like a very straightforward confession here, or should it be more passive? I feel like it's good both ways. This is just a short thing. I want to wrap this up quickly. But yeah, Loki feels straightforward. It needs to shock Iori. Too obvious, maybe. Would it be too obvious? I guess it's a fanfic, so it doesn't really matter. They both seem kind of straightforward. Seduction into confession, I think, is best. Chat! Chat! Let's go a bit. Let's do a little bit of a roundabout here. Because we're women, so. God paused. She could feel her head turning towards her. But Iori's body was out of strength to respond, as you were beautiful. No mention of a heart here. It's still on page 1. Yeah, I know. Oh, you can't see it? Here. Too out of strength to respond. Beautiful. Spoken lightly. Thrown out like This blade is my love, let it reach your heart. Oh god. Thrown out. Thrown out with consideration, like comments about the weather, traffic, or rain. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Vivid's a good word. Hmm. I hate how my sentence I'm starting with Iori, but yeah. Iori wanted. First draft? Yeah. We only do one draft. Almost chuckled. Ought to. God, this is hard. God, this is hard! Let's see. Let's see. You're doing great so far, thank you. I wanted to chuckle. An indeterminate number. So wanted to it was the first time anyone ever described as vivid. That so. Yeah. Yeah. There's something here. You know, I wanted to chuckle. It was the first time anyone had ever described her as vivid before, as if it was perhaps a god was right. Perhaps life on Earth changed more. She As if had given her some deeper purpose than just work. Is that so? This is so fucking fast. Okay. The pacing for this is not good. Is that so? Sit. Well. It's not anymore. Oh god. Oh god frowned. It's a short fix, so it makes it even more difficult. Yeah, a little bit. I'm worse with long fix, honestly speaking. You can use Goddess. Twitter isn't watching. Great thing about this. See, I feel like God is catch-all for both, but I can always just... It's 4 letters, guys. Deity. So your secret magnum opus was a short one? Between 6 to 11 chapters, I believe? Something like that? It might be more. I can't quite recall at this point in life. God, goddess, deity, divinity, divine. Well, I'm more or less just using it as a title rather than a description. Where were we? Yuri wanted to chuckle. It was the first time anyone had ever described her as vivid before. Perhaps life on Earth had changed her more than she thought, as if it had given her some deeper purpose than just work. Life, is it? Well, I guess not anymore. Goddess frowned. Eyebrows lowering. It's not too late. Still, you can still, oops, change this. We can still, in another lifetime, Yuri whispered, eyes finally fluttering shut. In another lifetime. Something like that. Whispered or interrupted? I think we'll go with whispered. I was finally flying shut. Though some things had changed, this was still par for the job. The goddess went rigid. Her arm finally dropped. Yeah. Let's add a yeah. Yeah, that's final enough. Let's fucking go! Okay, let's read the Iori X Loki fanfiction! This is so embarrassing! This is so embarrassing! Guys, doing this on camera is more fucking... is more shame than you will ever fucking believe. Make sure Iori reads this. Oh god. Oh god. Sorry, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Let's go through this. Let's go through this. Okay. And then you guys can dissect it in the comment section, okay? A single streetlight flickered, buzzing A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away matted White? Good. I know there's a proper order to these things. I can never remember what the proper order of adjectives are. As the pale hand reached out to brush away white matted strands of hair, the arm was slow moving, stiff and almost mechanical. The hands were slightly bruised. A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Iori's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away white matted strands of hair. The arm that fluttered against her was slow moving, stiff and almost stroked, fluttered, stroked, synonyms for stroked. The hand that fluttered, tickled, stroked, kneaded, brushed. Yeah, let's go with brushed. It's the most neutral one. Cranked, shaked, caressed. You guys are too obvious. It's too overt. Okay, that brushed against her was slow moving, stiff and almost mechanical. Her hands were warm. The hand was warm and slightly bruised slightly bruised against the wrist. As it drew closer, Iori almost flinched, but her body couldn't respond even in half time. You know, it didn't have to happen like this. Yuri chuckled, her grip loosening against the blade. The years of calluses that had built... Sorry, I'm reading really fast, huh? We'll start again, but slowly, okay? A single streetlight flickered, buzzing softly in hot summer air. Sweat laid thin against the nape of Yuri's neck as a pale hand reached out to brush away white matted strands of hair. The arm that brushed against her was slow-moving, stiff, and almost mechanical. The hand was warm and slightly bruised against the wrists. As it drew closer, Yuri almost flinched, but her body couldn't respond even in half time. You know, it didn't have to happen like this. Yuri chuckled, her grip loosening against the blade. The years of calluses that had built up on her hand seemed almost... Two use of the word hand, that's fine. The years of calluses that had built up on her hand seemed almost comical now as they shook involuntarily in the presence of a god. As she could peel them layer by layer, she wondered where they'd lead. Bleh. I was just doing my job, she mumbled, words hanging dry at the edge of her tongue. Edge of her tongue, edge of her lips. You didn't have to, the goddess responded. The words were harsh, like pounded pavement that had dried under the sun. But she did, and they both knew it. They both understood. Work, the job, it was all that she'd ever truly known. Are you looking down on me? Her eyes flickered with what little strength remained. A tired sigh. No. Was it funny? She asked. Was it funny watching her struggle for the last year and a half? No. A hollow response. Yuri grimaced. Then why did you put up with it for so long? Why? Could 500,000 times. The goddess paused. She could hear... Paused. Yuri, for clarity, could feel her head turning towards her. Could feel the deity's head turning towards her, but her body was too out of strength to respond. Well, I feel like this sentence is too sudden, so, well, we'll do it well, because you were beautiful. Beautiful? Yeah. The words were spoken lightly, thrown out with little consideration, like comments about traffic or rain. You were beautiful, like everything I've encountered on this planet. You were so vivid, so full of life. Yuri wanted to laugh, chuckle, laugh. It was the first time anyone had ever described her as vivid before. Perhaps life on Earth had changed her more than she thought, as if it had given her some deeper purpose than just work. Full of life, is it? Well, I guess not anymore. The goddess frowned, eyebrows lowering. Their humor had never matched up. It's not too late. You can still change this. We can still... in another lifetime. Yuri whispered, eyes finally fluttering shut. Though some things had changed, this was still par for the job. At the very least, though she had never imagined a beautiful lifetime, she had promised herself an honorable rest. In another lifetime, I would have liked to see more of this planet with you. A pause and a breath. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. In another lifetime, Iori whispered, eyes finally fluttering shut. Though some things had changed, this was still part of the job. Though she had never imagined a beautiful lifetime, she had promised herself an honorable rest. In another lifetime, I would have liked to see more of this planet with you. A pause. Then a last breath. The goddess went rigid, and her arms finally dropped. Yeah, in another lifetime, I would still love you too. Okay. So here are some thoughts. Here are some behind the scenes thoughts. Okay, so the reason why we're describing Loki's body in here as stiff and mechanical and also here as rigid is if you look at Loki's lore on the Phase Connect website, okay, the host body, the body that contains the soul of Loki, originally belonged to a Miko who had an inability to move her body since childhood, right? And that made her weak. So we're referring to her as stiff, rigid, and all of these things in reference to that lore. So it was a human. It was of a more humane parts of Loki. It was the more human sides of her that fell in love with Iori in this fanfiction. How much lore is there? Honestly, 2 lines on the website. That's what I'm going off of. But that's what those references come from. That's all you need. That really is all you need. So when I look at Iori going to collab and voice this piece of art, oh god, it probably would sound a lot better in Japanese. It probably would. This is so cringe. This is so cringe. McCutter40, thank you for a super chat. I'm so bad at tragedy. No. We're gonna bookend this one. Let's have a drink really quickly. I'm gonna finish this off and go grab another drink. And let's start on the next fanfiction. Before that though, let's pull up the roulette. Let's pull up the wheel of coworkers and see what the next fanfiction is gonna be about. We can probably have time. We probably have time for one more. Let's see it. Okay. Let's see who we get. The Wheel of Goon? It's not a goon wheel. It's not a goon wheel petition to do a smut fanfiction. If we don't get smut, I'll let you guys re-roll. Loki again! Reroll? Okay, we'll do a reroll. Dude, I'd be so embarrassed that it's all just Loki fanfiction. Okay, let's go. so close to Eeyore. So close to... Ah! Michiru! Yabai ne. Yabai ne. I do not feel safe writing about so many of my senpai in this way. I do not feel safe, ne? Yabai ne. Free Delays love beans. Thank you for super chat. If it was all Loki fanfiction, I get it. Lindsay Van Cedar, thank you for $2. Artist, you know what to do. Thank you. Believe Nevo, thank you for $10. I want a copy. Thank you. Sweary, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Free Delays loves beans. Thank you for about $5. Not smart yet. It's not. Owasaki, thank you for $2. She likes her ear rubs. Noted. Callan, thank you for super chat. Shalong, thank you. Krell, thank you for $2. $8 Subway footlong. Oh god. Okay, who are we writing Michiru with? Come on. Michi Dizzy? I don't want self-insert. Lumi! This has to go. I am praying. I roll into comedy right now. I am hard praying. We were really close to self-cess. We were. Okay. I'm gonna pause right here so I can go. Hold on. I'm gonna just finish this drink real fast. And I'm gonna go grab another one. Okay? Be right back. Hi, honey, I'm back. That took way more effort than I thought it would. Well, Miss Popcorn Man, thank you for $2. Thank you. Okay, we are right now. The next fanfiction we're gonna write is Michiru x Lumi, which, yeah, this is definitely the most popular phase ship ever, right, guys? Right? I'd actually really like to hear them. I'd really like to hear them do a cover together. I'm praying we roll into comedy. I'm praying for it. No! I'm cooked! I'm cooked! I'm cooked! Literally my weakest... This is literally the weakest genre for me. Reroll. Okay, okay. Let's do this. If I can re-roll into comedy, I get to keep comedy. If not, I have to stick with horror. How does that sound? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Please don't be smart. Please don't be. Rigged? How is it rigged? How is it rigged? How is it rigged? Listen. Sometimes God chooses favorites. And sometimes the favorite is me. Compromise and do smut? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's do comedy. Comedy. I like comedy more. That's a spirit. Comedy, horror, like scary movies. If I can find a way to tie horror into it, I will, but I'm really weak at the genre. P, thank you for 15 months. Mere pixels away from greatness. Thank you, pixels. Thank you. It's Lumi. It has to be smut. What do you think of Lumi? What about Lumi makes you say that? Why would you ever say that about Lumi? Okay, let's do and then to the wheel of tropes. Let's do a roll here. Love potion. I can work with that. That's very Michiru coded. Love potion. Okay, we're off to a pretty strong start here. Come on. Yeah, and stream potion, guys. How the fuck do I work with this one? How do you do love potions and soulmates? I'm asking myself the same questions now. Implied NTR. No. Okay. Okay. Stop saying NTR. Why do you guys want this to be NTR so badly? Manufactured soulmates easy. That's what I'm thinking too. Sorry, I'm like mentally preparing myself for this right now. Okay. Michiru X Lumi. Comedy. Love potion. Soulmates. We have to play this off as a very Invader-esque story. Guys, have you noticed that every Invader story follows the same story formula? In all our celebration streams, any of our bits and any of our voice packs, it all follows the same story scheme. And I think we have to use the same story scheme here somehow, some way. What would the couple name be? Michimi or Luchiro? Maybe Mimi? Mimi shipping? Michimi? Lumichi? I think Lumichi. Maybe Lumichi. 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 Yeah. Lumichi shipping. This is a rare pair of all time. Okay. So, in true phase fashion, there should be a warehouse story. Yeah, a warehouse story. What's the pacing for this? Comedy. Gildio, thank you for a super chat. Please make them say Citrusy. Thank you. Ah! A FNAF-esque warehouse story? No! No, it's gonna be a fun and silly one, I think. It'll be fun and silly. I think I want one of the lines to be not love. Yeah, I think that'll be one of the lines. Okay. Just cross that out so I can keep it in mind though. Yeah. Lumi seeks out Michi for a love potion to use on Gloomy, so she is too distracted to chase her anymore. What in the fucking self-sussed? Let's see. How do I open this one? Lean me softly. Accidental potion drinking? Something like that. Will... Sorry, I dropped something. Will there be a kiss scene? I don't like writing explicit things. I actually do not have a lot of experience writing explicit kiss scenes and stuff. It's a lot. But we can try. Dizzy is a pure maiden. I just don't think love should be that way. I think love should be less obvious and more beautiful. I think it needs to be cinematic. Let's see. Explicit kiss. It's just a kiss. I can appreciate content that includes it, but writing it's different. It's too it's too I don't want to say grotesque, but feels wrong. It feels wrong. How about hand holding? I like the gentle creep up to hand holding. Okay. Maybe we start with a love potion. Yeah, maybe we start, instead of starting with character, let's start with the item or the subject matter. The love potion started out as a joke. Yeah, the love potion started out as a joke. We'll start there. And then, how are we guys continue this story? unprotected hand holding. So as a joke, yeah. Dizzy been asking for one on and off, depending crazy baby fever was making her at any time. Here, see, I included myself as a character for your benefit, chat. For your benefit. She probably... Let's see. Love potion started out as a joke. Dizzy had been asking for one on and off, depending on how crazy of a baby fever was making her at any time. Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you. She shouldn't have let it get so far, considering nature. Of their work. She did once again set up would send to working overtime will make millions, she said. Lumi complained, throwing her arms into the air for dramatics. And then we can all retire. To where would I retire, guys? Where would I retire? Lumi throwing a tantrum. Of course, she's been working overtime endlessly. To Bora Bora. Bora! Boy hooker. Spare. Michiru rolled her eye side. Tidying the papers that Lumi had tossed for the upteenth time. Is upteenth a real word? I think it is a word, but I misspelled it. Upteenth. Umpteenth. Time. I don't even care for boy hooker. Hold on. Okay. The love potion started out as a joke. Dizzy had been asking for one on and off, depending on how crazy of a baby fever was making her at any time. She shouldn't have let it get so far, considering the nature of her work, but she did, and once again, it set up for a chain of events that would send all the invaders into working overtime. We'll make millions, she said. Lumi complained, throwing her arms into the air for dramatics. And then we can all retire to Bora Bora with boy hookers to spare. Michiru sighed, tidying the papers that Lumi had tossed for 18th time. Though... yeah, we'll keep it there. I don't even care for boy hookers, she exclaimed. The blonde invader exclaimed. I just wanted to make a little extra. I just want to do something fun with my friends. I thought it'd be like a class project. But then how was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know it would get this far? Usually, all her plans fail within the week. Okay. The love potion started out as a joke. Dizzy had been asking for one on and off, depending on how crazy the baby fever was making her at any time. She shouldn't have let it get so far, considering the nature of her work, but she did, and once again, it set up a chain It set up for a chain of events that would send all the invaders into working overtime. We'll make millions, she said. Lumi complained, throwing her arms into the air for dramatics. And then we can all retire to Bora Bora with boy hookers to spare. Michiru sighed, tidying the papers that Lumi had tossed for the 18th time. I don't even care for boy hookers, the blonde invader exclaimed. I just want to do something fun with my friends. I thought it'd be like a class project. How was I supposed to know it would get this far? Usually all her plans fail within the week. Technically, everything still had room to fail. But when Dizzy had dragged Michiru into a project, management approval ratings seemingly shot, and suddenly the whole company was on board. And technically, everything still had room to fail. But when Izzy had dragged Michiru into a project, managed approval ratings seemingly shot up. Suddenly, the whole and the stakes were much higher. You know what, Michiru? We should just give up. Submit a love potion It doesn't actually work and run away to Bora Bora together, all by ourselves. How does that sound? It sounds like this could actually be turned into a voice pack if I wanted it to. Honestly, not bad. Not. Wasn't going. As their senior at work, Michiru had the invaders get an all runaway plan. And plan just sounded like more. Come on. We're literally spaceship. He would ever find us. Like that? But could. Wow, tempting. Yeah. This one's going a lot faster. Okay. So let's go over the story beats again. So Lumi and Michiru were signed up for this project by me because I promised boy hookers to everyone after making millions. And they have to create a love potion. And now we're still missing the soulmates aspect of this story. And so we're working on this project together. And Lumi wants to run away with the whole thing. But Michiru, as a senpai, is reluctant to go along with her plans because she has seen how all the invader plans do not work out. Now we need to make them fall in love and be soulmates at some point in this story. This is the hard part. This is the hard part. Does Lumi have a spaceship? I thought she just flew through space. She does! I think she's in a spaceship in her streams for the most part. So it's something along those lines. I don't know exactly. But, okay. We'll go. Come on. So, honestly, not that bad. But Michiru wasn't going to admit it. As their senior at work, Michiru had watched invaders get in all sorts of trouble, and a runaway plan just sounded like more of the same. Come on, we're literally on my spaceship. A freaking spaceship! Nobody would ever find us up here. But they could find down on Earth. They'd be was exactly shaking her head. To turn back to chemistry. Back to telescope. Telescope? Microscope. Observe more of the samples. More of samples. In times like this, what she had found worked best was letting Lumi tire herself out. Getting back to their research. And then we'll have, I think it'll be really cute to have Lumi as fussy baby, so she's got to throw a fit. So how does she usually talk to chat? Chat. Chat. Like that? Like that? Hey! Michiru! Come on! Hey, listen! The blonde complained. Aren't you tired? We've been stuck in this lab for almost 3 days now. Of course, she was tired. Of course. Sure. Why they had to be flown to space. Research potion. Something about cosmic radiation from Sis rays. Hey Michiru, hey, come on, hey listen, Vablon complained. Aren't you tired of it too? We've been stuck in this lab for almost 3 days now. 3 days. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Of course, Michiru was tired. She wasn't even sure why they had to be flown out to space to research SLF potion. Something about the cosmic radiation from planet Venus's rays. Michiru is very tired. Yes. Then let's go already. Oh! Oh, you know what? If one of us gets sick, they'll have to send us back. Sick? Michiru asked. Yeah, sick! Lumi's eyes lit up like diamonds. Or lit up like stars. excitement. Like stars. Yeah. What if we just need to get ourselves sick? Michiru swallowed. Somehow, the runaway plan was starting to sound like the more appealing idea. Is Dizzy writing fanfic for us? Yeah! A really rare pair, so we're rolling with it. The potions. All the failed love potions. What? We just drink them and make ourselves really, really sick. Before she could even respond, Lumi vaulted towards cases of failed experiments. And reached for a red one. And then the line watch frozen in surprise and horror. Meech shouted. No! Red one is not love potion. Her English faltered to the shock. 3 big gulps. And experiment disappeared. Huh? Wiping her lips with her sleeve. What were you saying? Hmm? That one. A potion for some was Michiru stuttered. a potion. Soulmate identification. Lumi tilted her head in confusion. Suddenly, a spark and a flame. Fireworks began to shoot off above her head. Michiru's contorted in sheer horror. You mean? Maybe all caps? Perfection. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let's read a fanfiction. Dizzy, I'm sorry, but Venus does not produce cosmic radiation. It comes from solar flares or supernova. Oh, that's fine. This is a comedy. The less it makes sense, the better. The love potion started out as a joke. Dizzy had been asking for one on and off, depending on how crazy of a baby fever was making her at any time. She shouldn't have let it get so far, considering the nature of her work, but she did, and once again, it set up for a chain of events that would send all of the invaders into working overtime. "We'll make millions," she said, Lumi complained, throwing her arms into the air for dramatics. "And then we can all retire to Bora Bora with boy hookers to spare." Michiru sighed, tidying the papers that Lumi had tossed for the umpteenth time. "I don't even care for boy hookers," the blonde invader exclaimed. I just wanted to do something fun with my friends. I thought it'd be like a class project. How was I supposed to know it would get this far? Usually all her plans fail within the week. And technically, everything still had room to fail, but when Dizzy had dragged Michiru into the project, management approval ratings seemingly shot up. Suddenly, the whole company was on board and the stakes were much higher. "You know what, Michiru? We should just give up. Submit a love potion that doesn't actually work and run away to Bora Bora together all by ourselves. How does that sound?" Honestly, not that bad. But Michiru wasn't going to admit it. As their senior at work, Michiru had watched the invaders get in all sorts of trouble, and a runaway plan just sounded like more of the same. Come on! We're literally on my spaceship! A freaking spaceship! Nobody would ever find us up here! But they could find them down on Earth, which was exactly where they'd be if they ran away together to Bora Bora. Shaking her head, Michiru just turned back to the microscope to observe more of her samples. In times like this, what she had found worked best was letting Lumi tire herself out before getting back to her research. Hey, Michiru, come on! Hey, listen, the blonde complained. Aren't you tired of it too? We've been stuck in this lab for almost 3 days now. 3 days, 2 hours, and 14 minutes. To be exact. Of course Michiru was tired. She wasn't even sure why they had to be flown out to space to research this love potion. Something about cosmic radiation from planet Venus's rays. The translation was completed through DeepL. Michiru is very tired, yes. Then let's go already. Oh! You know what? If one of us gets sick, they'll have to send us back. Sick? Michiru asked. Yeah, sick. Lumi's eyes lit up like stars. We just need to get ourselves sick. Michiru swallowed. Somehow, the runaway plan was starting to sound like the more appealing idea. The potions. All of the failed love potions. What if we just drink them and make ourselves really, really sick? Before she could even respond, Lumi vaulted towards their cases of failed experiments and reached for a red one. Frozen in surprise and horror. Popping off the cap, she tilted her head back and took... She tilted her head back and cracked open her lips. Then, watching in slow motion and frozen in shock and frozen in horror, Michiru shouted, "No! Red one is not love potion!" Her English faltered to the shock. 3 big gulps, and the experiment disappeared. Huh? Lumi asked, wiping her lips with her sleeve. What were you saying? That one is, Michiru stuttered. A potion for soulmate identification. Lumi tilted her head in confusion. Suddenly, a spark and a flame. Fireworks began to shoot off above her head. Michiru's face contorted in sheer, very used to horror, so disgust. The potion. I made it. When you take it and look at your soulmate. Bunch of main dots. That. 3 large-eyed blinks. A slow realization. Elation. You mean? Michiru frowned and hit the emergency escape button. Hasta la Bora Bora. Goodbye. Pretty good, right? running from their soulmate. Yeah! Yeah! This one was so much easier! This one was so much easier! Absolute literature, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But real horror is commitment. I mean, listen. Maybe the soulmates were her friends you made along the way. Michi having stilted English helps to sell it. Yeah. Should the fireworks be after the explanation so experience of a reader goes with the characters? It's a fan fiction. Leave that to the editors. Leave that to the editors that adapt it into a Netflix movie. Oh god, this was so dorky. Okay. Okay, bravo, Anchor. Thank you. Thank you. MK Xerox, thank you for your super chat. Potion seller, give me your strongest love potion. No. Hasta la Bora Bora. Hasta la Bora Bora. Yuki Nagato, thank you for 20 months. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't make one of them say Citrusy. Okay. Okay, how was that? Did you guys... Which fanfiction did you guys prefer? A comedy? Or a tragedy? I guess they both kind of end up in tragedy if you think about it. I think if you think about it, they're both tragedies. Give tragedy? Tragedy? Comagedy? I like the comedy better. I think I also like the comedy. It just feels more natural. It feels more natural for me to write. But this was fun. This was fun. I'm thankful. You know what? I'm thankful that the most likely streamers at Face Connect to walk into one of my streams weren't picked for this. I'm glad it's like 3 JP. Well, Lumi will probably see this. But I'm willing to explain myself to that one. She got the comedy one. She got the comedy one, so... Well, hopefully she didn't stick around. Hopefully she didn't stick around. Joe K, thank you for $10. Good job. I honestly expected this to be way more degenerate. Expectations subverted. Just because I consume a shit ton of Coomer content does not mean that I am a Coomer, okay? Just like everything on this channel, my writing is PG-13. Okay, that was a lot of fun though. Anyways, I'm gonna call it for tonight. We're gonna go visit Urka, who very narrowly avoided being the subject of today's stream. But I hope you guys had some fun with this. It was a little bit of a slow burn. But it was fun messing around. Okay. Until next time, I'll miss you. Bye.